something I've made up because I've had some that have damaged this pusher tool threads. They was so hard and wouldn't give. Especially the ones in the back. They're the hardest to deal with. I made this deal to get the porcelain pushed down. And this is just a fuel line fitting off a GM. I just put a piece of tape there to gum the threads up so when this goes down into the spark plug hole, it'll thread into it and protect the spark plug threads, and it perfectly fits this bolt. It also lines it up with the porcelain as a plug. I drilled an 1/8 inch hole in it, about a 1/4 inch deep. And what that'll do, drop that down in the spark plug hole. Just like if this is a spark plug hole. I think it's too small for this to fit in there, but I just drop it down in there. Use this air impact on it. With this bolt that has a fixed nut in the center of it, I stick it up in there underneath the coil spring. Put that down in the head. Just hit it for 4 or 5 seconds and rotate the bolt by hand and hit it, and then the bolt will just drop down, and that pushes this porcelain down the end of that electrode. And I've used it about 8 times, and it always pushes the porcelain down just right and doesn't bust it out as long as you don't keep pouring it on. But I just hit that a few times with this impact and rotate it a little bit and hit it again, then that knocks the porcelain loose inside. Perfect. That's for the really hard to get at ones and the ones that the pusher tool won't push down. Beats taking the head off of it. Something else that's like this fuel line fitting is a blank one of these into the spark plugs. Just knock a porcelain out of it. Some of them will come and the porcelain may not stay in it anyway. There are plenty of these laying around. And that also fits that bolt. I think that's out of a Cougar 2.5 motor. I don't remember what it come out of. The bolt fits down in there perfect and gives you room to work it even up underneath the cowl. Looks like it's about 6 inches long. Something that does happen, that porcelain's pretty hard and it'll close this hole up around the electrode, and when you pull this bolt out, it'll pull the electrode up with it, and it'll be stuck in there and you'll have to fish it out. And I've been taking this and putting it on a grinder and keeping a point on it, a reasonable point, not sharp, but as you grind that away, keep kind of an angle on it, you have to re-drill this hole. It's the 1/8 inch hole. Anyway, the impact smashes that hole around the electrode, and you can pull the electrode out of the way so it isn't holding you up. It being sandwiched in that porcelain and being metal, it could provide a solid path to keep you from pushing the porcelain down, I suppose. But it's been a lifesaver. I think that's just a manifold bolt. That's just some silicone stuck on the end of it. But that fits in that air chisel. And the impact off of this, that porcelain can't take that. It'll save your pusher tool. I haven't had any problems, and with this bevel on this and the porcelain holding it apart, it can't, haven't had any like claps and push down into the head because of that lip right there. It's already stuck. And then you push that porcelain down, it also helps unstick it from the carbon too, but like I said, I've never had one push down the head because of that ledge around the outside, I suppose. We just taking the head off of it. Yeah, of course, the back one, the porcelain's busted up above the rim of that tube in the bottom of the spark plug. So I made that bolt and a sleeve and drilled a hole in the end of the bolt to capture the electrode. The bolt will just drop like almost a quarter of an inch after you hit it a few times, and that's cool, cause that I about stripped out the pusher bolt on that tool on that back one on the other side until I made this deal bolt with a hole in it, and it brought the electrode out of the other side. The hole kind of smashed up around it because the porcelain's so hard and the impact and damaged it, and it caught the electrode and got it out of it. But yeah, I don't know, it seems to be pretty slick, so we'll see. Without having any adverse effects, I just stick it back in here and hit it. That does it to it. So I'm going to pull it up out there and see where I got with it. Then you let the electrodes captured in it. Yep, it sure is. Won't show up on this camera or not, but that porcelain slid down like it's supposed to and left a ridge. Air chisel drove the porcelain right down. I can run the tap right into that, and it only took a few seconds. That's great. Pushed it down, got a hold of the electrode and got it out of the way, and it's ready to be extracted. That is the piece after hitting it with the chisel. The porcelain's not even all the way down. I still had the 1/16 of an inch to go, so it didn't bust the porcelain. It didn't stress that handle out on the end of the ground electrode. And it got extracted. And it was pretty hard coming out, so with that back one 10 out of 10 on the other side, which damaged my pusher, as far as it coming out, this piece coming out of it, this is probably about a 7 to 8, but yeah, the porcelain is intact. So I've got one left to do, and I'm going to use the chisel instead of the pusher to drive that one down and save me some time. Been on this thing for quite a while.